Hello everyone, it's Mr. Arocena here, and today I'm going to talk about the team I plan on running in the Virgo Cup. So first off, my Oshi pick will be Symboli Rudolph. He's become my favorite character in the franchise, and I spent a lot of time trying to get a good Symboli Rudolph, which is really cool because she actually was my first S rank Uma in the Unity Cup. This was a great run. However, I think I trained guts on this because I was using Grass Wonder winning tickets so I could pick up Furious Feet, and I was supposed to get on your left, but I never finished that event. While she is an S rank, she's missing a couple of key things. Mile S for one, and I don't have nearly enough mid-game skills to handle the mid-game very well. Also, the wit is very low, which I found out later was actually super important. So I thought this was going to be the one I was going to run, because she has ridiculous amounts of speed, power, and guts, but her lack of wit and some of missing a bunch of mid-game skills meant she could never actually hit position 6 to use Let's Pump Some Iron, and she'd never be able to combo that into the other acceleration skills and just win, or at least it was very inconsistent. So I spent a lot of time training another more, because you can see I've done a lot of time trying a lot of Symboli Rudolphs, and I finally came upon, I think, this one. This one is the one that will probably be running. Speed didn't cap out, almost, but I have Mile S, so it kind of makes up for it. I think S rank speed roughly adds 10% to the speed stats, so she'll be over 1250, give or take. Power is great, wit's good, enough stamina to get there, but more importantly, I have a lot of mid-game skills on this one. So Corner Adept, it's on Slipstream, Ignited Spirits, so she should be able to get into a position to use Let's Pump Some Iron, and combo that into Slick Surge, Updrafters, Nimble Navigator, maybe Fighter if it hasn't been used yet, and then into her ultimate, and then just accelerate the win from there, which is what she often does if she wins. However, I found that she is incredibly inconsistent. So in the last cup, in the last Champions Meet, my Symboli Rudolphs had the misfortune of always being in 5th or 4th place, so they could never activate Let's Pump Some Iron. I'm finding in my practice room runs with Symboli Rudolph is that she's always in 7th, 8th, or 9th, and can never get into 6th when she needs to, so she never procs Let's Pump Some Iron. So Symboli Rudolph is going to be a incredibly gambly late surger, but it's incredibly fun to watch when she can combo Let's Pump Some Iron into Slick Surge, into Updrafters, into her ultimate, and then just win from there. 1.5 million CC is actually surprisingly helpful because there's that one final uphill, I think like just under 200 meters to the end. So this is sometimes very useful for just closing out the victory when she's close, or catching up and just winning by a head or a nose. Okay, now after my Oshi pick, I always try to get a meta pick to sort of help me out, and the meta pick for this Champions Meet is Taiki Shuttle. So I originally built a Taiki Shuttle. I think this was the first Taiki Shuttle I built, and it was pretty good until again I realized I need more wit because of the massive downhill that they added. So this Taiki Shuttle had the speed, power, but didn't have the wit. So after in between Rudolph runs, basically once I used up all my borrows, I'd use my remaining energy to build up Taiki Shuttle. And I got some pretty cool ones, like this one's a 9-star Taiki Shuttle with 7 mile sparks. The blue sparks are kind of spread out between stamina, speed, and power, but I've got she makes a pretty decent parent for a lot of for mile. Combos really well with vodka I made a few Champions meetings back. Is this one? Yeah, so if I want mile, this vodka's got 8 mile and quite a lot of speed and stamina. So if I ever need to make milers, I've got 2 parents that basically will guarantee a Mile S. Anyways, the training there resulted in a second S rank Uma. This one, was, I think, was really good. 1200 speed, 800 power, 1000 wit, so definitely had the stats. Missing the mile S though. So her speed is capped at 1200, but she makes up for it with right-handed and fall runner. So I think she has in total 1280 speed, but without the mile S, she's actually slower than a 1200 speed Uma with mile S, but not too bad. She's got quite a lot of skills. The only thing is that I didn't run enough races in the junior year, so her shooting for victory is only level 3. She's got a lot of good skills. Professor of Curvature, Speed Star, Mile Maven, it's on. So her mid-game skills are pretty decent. Shifting gears, pace chaser corners, tail held high. Like this combination of shifting gears, corners, and I think, what's the other mid-game skill? Professor of Curvature. Those 3 activate and tail held high, and then firm conditions and booster power. She's pretty good. I did miss out on the 900 power threshold, so that in conjunction with the mile S makes, even though she's an S rank, she's a little slower than an Uma with 1200 speed, mile S, and 900 power. Lots of wit though, so all her skills will activate. But I built another one recently, this one. So this one I think is the one that we're going to end up using. She has the 1200 speed, the 900 power, wit's a little lower at 900, but still pretty good. But she has the mile S. In addition, we've got double right-handed, so her base speed is 1260, plus the mile S makes her run, I think, like over 1300 will be her equivalent speed. I have shooting for victory level 4, triumphant pulse, good plethora of mid-game skills again, so Professor of Curvature, Mile Straightaway, Mile Straightaway doesn't really activate in the mid-game, just usually activates in the late game, which is kind of cool. It's on shifting gears, so I have 3 skills to activate, tail held high. I also got head on, so in the late race she's got extra acceleration, especially coupled with prepared to pass and triumphant pulse, and then again mile straightaway tends to activate on the second straightaway, so this will be, this is the one that is going to be running alongside Symboli Rudolph. And the third pick, I wasn't sure what to do for third pick. I was experimenting between a lot of different things. I built a runaway Suzuka's, like this one, but didn't get enough wit. Lots of speed and power, so would hang on very easily to the lead, but loses it quite quickly. I had another runaway Suzuka, I think this one? Yeah, this one. This one is really weird because despite having the low speed, this one actually just randomly wins sometimes. Has the wit, has the power. I think I built this one strictly to just block other front runners from getting angling and scheming. But then again, sometimes she would just randomly win, which was kind of cool. I experimented with the Grass Wonder. This was not the best Grass Wonder. This was the best Grass Wonder that I built, but could not get the wit high enough. And again, super gambly late surger. I didn't really... after a few days of running that in practice room, it didn't work out very well. Then I had the I remembered I'd built an air groove, a debuffing air groove a while ago. And I thought, let's run with that, but the debuffs tend to actually not do anything, which I found really interesting. So there was a couple of times where I ran into some rooms where we had or front runners, I guess. Yeah, front runners with sub 600 stamina. They get hit with both subdued front runner and flustered front runner, and they would still win the race, which was like, that shouldn't happen. At least I didn't think it should happen. So the debuff air groove experiment did not work very well. And then we decided to go back to let's just build Summer Maruzensky again. So we built a few Summer Maruzensky's, and we ended up with this one. It's going to be the one that we're going to take with us. Lots of speed, lots of power, lots of stamina, lots of wit. And this one would actually also win sometimes. Doesn't have the mile S, but does have double circle right-handed, so overall speed about 1260. Wit's high enough, power's pretty high. She has this interesting combination, which I found out from, I think it was Should have remembered his name. Harry, I think. Prudent positioning, dodging danger combination, which is actually kind of neat because I think the new lane change mechanics gives a burst of speed. So she generally gets out in front. There's one race where she actually ended up getting in front of a runaway Suzuka, which I found was really interesting. The only thing with this one is that I only have the one recovery skill, 777s. So if that doesn't proc, if 777s doesn't proc, then she can't proc her Kiss for Courage, and then she just can't win. But this one does win occasionally, which is great. So the final team is Emperor Symboli Rudolph, the Emperor of Gambling Late Surgers, because she's very gambly. Artegi Shuttle, Mighty Miler, way more consistent than my Symboli Rudolph. And finally, Hot Rod Marozensky, who just kind of a wild card. Will be there to take away angling and scheming from opposing frontrunners, and is strong enough to sometimes win races on her own. Yeah, so that's my team. Let me know what your team is. What Umas are you bringing? Where do you guys end up hoping to end up? I'm hoping to continue my streak of winning champions meetings. I currently have titles for Cancer, Gemini, and Leo. Hopefully the streak continues. And if not, well, hopefully at least get into Group A finals. Alright, we'll see how this goes. The Virgo Cup has already started. Well, by the time this video gets out, the Virgo Cup will have already started. And hope you guys have good luck in your runs and your Umas have great moods. See you guys next time.